if the driver's already trying to kind of get the wheels turning before then, you know, it'll all of a sudden lock up and brake. I wouldn't say it's common by any stretch, because if it was common, then they would just be building heavier axles. You know what I'm saying? But it's not unheard of. How about that?
We're looking for a Kansas win. He needed one. Maybe next.
Yeah. Well, hey, I will say this, man. Those Toyota teams can hang their head high, because they got, I mean, they did a lot today. Denny Hamlin led a ton of laps. Matt Kenseth out front. They could certainly hang their heads high. All right. Hey, thanks for your call, Rich.
Thank you.
All right, bud. 866 Pit Lane. Joe in Georgia. You're on the Post Race Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great.
My opinion is I don't think NASCAR is going to let Kurt Busch win. The first caution for debris on the last lap, come on. Then the last one, and
I would say,
just slap in the face. I mean, when have they ever thrown a caution on the last lap for debris? They haven't.
well, there's been green, white checker finishes that have happened because of a debris caution. I'll give them that.
Okay.
But I will say this. I will say, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay. There's a lot of people, especially if you get on social media right now, that are questioning that debris caution, because obviously, if you were sitting here watching it on television and listening to it here on Sirius XM, you never saw the piece of debris, the reason why they threw the caution. So immediately that's going to be suspect. And obviously it's going to be suspect, and, you know, people are going to have a conspiracy theory that, well, they threw a caution to try and keep Kurt Busch out of victory lane. And then people are going to say then they didn't throw a caution on the last lap of the race to keep Kurt Busch out of victory lane as well, because, you know, again, like our last caller, he thought they should have thrown a caution when Kurt was still leading. Instead, they let it ride out to the end.
Right. So, you know, I understand Kurt went through 9 kinds of hell. You know, that's understandable, and wasn't found guilty for it. Right. NASCAR did what they felt was right. I don't disagree with that, because domestic violence is a problem in the United States. But we do live in America. We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent.
Well, and that's true, and based on that statement too, Joe, I would also defer. I would also have that same sentiment when it comes to NASCAR and officiating. Like I said, I know a lot of people are questioning the officiating. I wasn't sitting up there in the tower. I wasn't sitting up there in the turn where they first saw the initial debris that brought out that first caution at the end. And I wasn't watching Greg Biffle spin to know how clear he was from the rest of the field and if he was going to get back up under his own power. I didn't see any of that. So,
well,
you know,
go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say I would just as soon wait until 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow and hear what Steve O'Donnell has to say about it.
Right. Because, I mean, I was listening to it on Sirius XM. They never announced Greg Biffle's spin.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, we don't know. You know, then it just, caution came up for debris. Well, you know, so basically it's misinformation, I guess. But, I mean, I'm a diehard Junior fan. So, you know, but I do sympathize with what Kurt Busch is going through.
Sure.
You know, I mean,
and like I said, I'm going to defer till Monday. I'm curious to hear what Steve O'Donnell has to say, and I'm sure you'll hear a lot about it on the channel. And you know, I mean, look, what we see on television isn't the same thing that they see. And don't get me wrong, I understand why people are questioning this. You know, I don't want to make it sound like I don't. But, you know, I'll wait till I hear both sides of the story. How's that?
Well, I do appreciate it, and I thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you, Joe. All right.
You have a great night.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
866 Pit Lane. Again, we'll be checking in with Claire B. Lane coming up here in just a bit. Let's go to Alabama. Jackie, you're on the Post Race Show. Hello.
Hello, man. How you doing?
Man, I couldn't be better. Thank you.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm calling about the same thing that last caller called. Exactly the same. I believe that NASCAR is not going to let Kurt Busch win if they can control it, and they definitely showed that they can control the outcome of these races when they want to control them. Because I'm a Kevin Harvick fan, and I'm here to tell you, in Daytona, when they did throw that yellow flag, and I could see that the track would have been clear for them to finish that race easily. I got you. And he could have.
Hey, Jackie, I'm going to have to cut you off here because we got to go down to Claire. She's got something to call back here in just a bit, man. We appreciate that. Sorry to have to cut you off, but Claire B is in victory lane. Let's check in with her.
I'm here with the winner, Brad Keselowski. 1 lap, a powerful lap. Roger Penske beaming. Brad Keselowski. Well, what were you thinking as you pulled off the win for work?
Oh, geez, what a day, and things just came together. this. You dream for days like this, but we didn't have the fastest car, and it takes speed, execution, and luck to win. Today we had the execution and luck, and then that's a team effort. We didn't give up with a lot of pride and a lot of heart in this team. I'll tell you, Claire. But the restarts there at the end, we had 4 new tires, and the other guys only had 2. But we still had to pass and then have a good stop to put ourselves in that position. And the guys, they did it, and the restarts came together. Next thing you know, I'm in the lead. I don't even know how yet. I can't wait to watch the replays, but just a heck of a day for us here in Fontana.
Well, Roger's wife had the red jacket on. You were talking on the radio to him about it. That was a good luck signal, right? But I have to ask you, if you thought about all of this, what it means to the team. Todd Gordon is now shaking his hand, Joey Logano's crew chief. When you were going through the last restart and then another restart, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, geez, we have a shot at it. Just need to catch some breaks. And you never know if they're gonna, but we did today, and everything it came together. And I can't say that strong enough. And how fortunate I feel to win here today in Fontana. We got a lot of work to do. We need more speed. We know that. But we're doing what we can and making the most of what we could. And that's what we did today. Get victory.
Win and you're in. You and your teammate both in the chase. How does that feel? At this stage of the game, you're an auto club.
That's huge for us, for Team Penske. That puts us in position to really focus on the task at hand, which is winning the Sprint Cup Championship. And it's really good for Joey Logano, his team as well. And I think we're going to be beaming for a little while for sure on that one.
Did you think, you said you were surprised, did you think, wait a minute, I could pull this off? It happened so fast at the end.
Yeah, I didn't have time to think. All I knew was just put the pedal down and hope it sticks, and it did.
What does it mean to you personally?
Well, this is a track I've never won at, and it's one of Roger's tracks that he helped build, and that makes it a special place. And so what I think, or what I thought after I won was, I didn't know if I'd ever win at this track because we've had different struggles, but to check that box off is such a huge mark for me, personally and professionally. I just can't tell you how much it means.
You start thinking about a run for the championship again?
Absolutely. That's all we can think about. That's what we want. We're hungry for it.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. You want to add anything for your fans who watched it? The fans are on their stands, on their feet in the stand.
Yeah, I heard there was over 70,000 people here today. What a great weekend for racing in Fontana. And might be a little biased, but I think it was a great finish.
Thanks a lot, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that is, of course, the winner, Brad Keselowski. I'm hunting the crew chief who dipped in the back here. I'm looking for Paul Wolf. Let me stand over here and catch up with Paul Wolf. Brilliant crew chief move, but it was like a coin flip, some said, between tires and lanes to choose at the end. I don't know how you do it. The fans probably are like, if I was in the captain's chair on the pit box, I would do this or that. What were you thinking?
Well, I think we know that wins are what gets you in the chase. And I felt like we did 2 tires. Maybe we could get a top 5 or 6 or 7. But I told Brad over the radio that, to win the race, we're going to have to do 4. Be different than the guys in front of us. And stuck to that plan, and he executed it well on the racetrack. It's one thing to have more grip and better tires there, but you got to find the holes and make the moves. And he did an awesome job of executing that. And here we find the worst Ford in victory lane.
I saw you spraying champagne, and I know you're a pretty even-keeled guy. But getting into the chase, winning you're in, and being here spraying champagne, I think you engulfed a little bit of it. Really enjoying the celebration, and you should, but it's a pretty big deal.
No, it is. It's huge for us to get the win, and takes a little bit of pressure off from us. And we know we got to get our cars better. We don't have the speed of, it seems like the Stewart-Haas cars right now are ahead of the field. And this gives us the opportunity to maybe not have to worrying about points and those things, and maybe gives us an opportunity to try some things different than what our normal comfort zone, and try to find some speed or find out where those guys are at to be able to compete and have the speed they do. And obviously there's a lot to it to get to victory lane, and not only you have to be fast, but you got to have strategy, and we're able to execute that today.
Listen, I want to ask you too, as you have the first debris caution of this last sequence and then another caution, I mean, take us through the first and the second, the decisions and all that goes on to try to win a race like this for a guy on the pit box.
Sure. Well, there's a lot that goes into it. This track with me having the wore out pavement and the way tires fall off and speed, you know, most of the strategy all day is forward tires. That's kind of straightforward. But when you get down to those closing 10 laps, it's like, you know, track position is important and having that clean air. But the thing that always comes to my mind is how many lanes there are here. And from top to bottom, I think it's 5, 6 wide, whatever the guys can make it. And I knew, you know, if we had the grip, he could find the hole. And you know, that's kind of what we went through. I think the first caution after I think we went from 18th to 6th on that first lap. I know he was bummed out that the caution flew, because there's always, once you heat cycle the tires, you seem to lose a little bit of grip in them, and it kind of makes it a little more equal to guys that only maybe are on 2 tires. But still, those guys had over 10 laps on their tires at that point, and like I told Brad, I said, you still got better tires, and tried to keep his confidence up, and he showed that obviously when we went back to green for the last time.
Any pit decisions surprise you at the end? You're kind of watching what everyone else is doing, or are you just sticking to your game plan?
No, I mean, we scanned some guys and knew there was a lot of guys talking about 2 tires, and from that standpoint, that made it easy for us to go ahead and do 4 and have a shot at it.
You're so even-keeled. Last thought, the emotion of this win.
Oh, it's huge. We've talked before how big it is to get a win this early in the season, and now we've got a lot of races through the summer to work on this, and you know, all the guys have worked hard, and I feel like we're working smart. And if we continue to do those things, hopefully come September we'll have a program where we need to be, and hopefully go for our 2nd championship.
Good job, crew chief.
All right, thanks, Claire.
Paul Wolf here in Victory Lane. You can hear the crowd because there are a bunch of sponsors and fans who won the chance to get here in Victory Lane. I'm going to go over and talk to Brad's girlfriend, Paige. Paige, let me see if I can catch up with Paige. I've got to chat with you and say congratulations. You were beaming in Victory Lane. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm so excited for Brad.
You know, where were you watching, in the pit box?
Yes.
So in the end, you probably thinking, oh, it's going to be the 4, might be, you know, a number of people at the front there, and then all of a sudden the restarts. Was there a lot of emotion up there?
Not really. Not until the last lap, and I heard spotters say, "You're clear, you got him." And then I was pretty excited. I told Brad, I said, I hope the camera went on me. I got a little crazy up there this time. He said, that's okay, we won.
Congratulations. I'll let you go. And nice chatting with you. Good win.
Thank you.
Well, she is, of course, very pregnant and on the pit box and very excited, shaking like a leaf. She grabbed my arm there. Her little hand was sort of shaking over the emotion of the win. More people in Victory Lane here. The people in Victory Lane are getting their photo shot with the trophy. I'm going to get off to the side here, catch up with some more folks. Here we have the spotter for the team. I'm going to catch up with him, and I'm going to set this down for a second, and you can sit up on there if you want. Let's talk about that as at the end of the race. Take us through it, man.
Well, we only led 1 lap, and it was the best lap we could have led, and that's why we're sitting here in Victory Lane. Obviously, the dominant car all day long was the 41 and the 4. We had a competitive car. You know, we were a top 5. Even before the race, I said we were a 4th and 9th place car when we were talking in the hall before. We just missed a little bit of speed. But the guys executed. We had great pit stops, and at the end of the race, we set ourselves up that the finish of the race allowed, you know, Brad and Paul to put this car back in Victory Lane.
I gotcha, and you know, I wonder, as you think about it, at the end, the emotion of seeing 4 wide, you know, another restart from a spotter's perspective.
You know, on the initial restart with the green-white checker, I actually told Brad, I'm going to be talking a lot, but I know I'm not helping you because there's so much activity going on that I essentially said, I'm just going to talk to you off of 2. I'll see you over there, because I knew the initial start going into 1 was a madhouse, and it was. And the bottom lane really stacked up. On the initial green-white checker, Brad was able to go from 18th all the way back to 6th or 7th before